Greetings. This week's lesson is called One Small Step for Humankind. And it starts with the story of a man walking along the beach after a storm. And he notices a young boy walking along the shore, picking up starfish and tossing them back into the water. And the man notices thousands have washed up after the storm and kind of shakes his head at the boy and says, "You know, you'll never really make a difference with all that have washed up." The boy picks up another and looks at the man and says, "It made a difference for that one." So this story reminds me of an important truth, especially in tumultuous times where we may seem overwhelmed with all that's going on and not really know what to do first. But I would suggest that helping others, even in simple ways, can be an antidote to despair. So last week I talked about the heavy load that many people seem to be carrying around nowadays, and how to find space to slow down, at least for a bit, and reflect on what truly matters. So it may seem contradictory to suggest to someone who may be feeling overwhelmed that helping others can help us cope with our own challenges. Ultimately, though, I'd say we are wired to care for others. And it's also beneficial to our own well-being to do so. Recently, I've heard empathy described as a weakness that could be the downfall of our civilization. But I would really suggest just the opposite, that it's this lack of concern that could potentially destroy us. Sometimes it can be easy to dehumanize those that don't share our views. But I think if we let our empathy slip for one person or a group of people, then ultimately it's easy to become bitter and lose this sense for everyone. So how do we cultivate care and compassion and this desire to truly help others? And where can we really possibly begin? One quote that I find very grounding is by Mother Teresa. She says, "Not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love." So we start with small steps. And of course, one of these small steps I would suggest is to get quiet and let our scattered focus return to the moment and the simplicity of the breath, even if just for a few moments, or even to whatever else grounds you personally. Out of this quieter place, I think we can better hear what small actions will be most beneficial for ourselves and others. If we just remain immersed in the noise and the struggle, I think we risk connecting to our deepest sense of care and tenderness. So last week we did a practice focused just on mindfulness of the breath. But there are practices that can cultivate beneficial qualities like compassion and care. So today we're going to do a simple practice that does just that. So I'd invite you to take a comfortable seat, either on the floor or in a chair, and just close your eyes or drop your gaze. You can settle in with a few deep breaths. Just letting yourself find a sense of stillness. Maybe stretching your spine up a little bit, and finding a nice balance between being alert and relaxed. And just become aware of your breath, where you feel your breath. And then just direct the breath to this heart space or the center of your chest. For some people, it can even help to put your hand there to feel the breath. And just notice the breath coming in and out of that space as if you were breathing into your heart. So this is a visualization practice. And we start by bringing someone to mind that it's easy to care for. Someone that evokes a sense of friendliness. And someone who may be facing some type of challenge or difficulty right now. It can be a close friend or a family member, or even a pet. Just bring to mind this person or being. Maybe some images of this person that evoke this natural sense of care and connection. And you can continue to cultivate this sense. Or if this person is experiencing some type of difficulty or challenge, you can bring this to mind, just evoking a natural sense of care and concern. And just holding space for this with your breath. Sometimes it can be useful or helpful to bring in phrases such as, "May you find relief from your pain," or "May you find healing," or come up with a phrase that fits your situation and that you think would send this person comfort and care. Just repeating these phrases a few times to yourself as you continue to breathe into the heart area. I'm not trying to make any specific feelings happen, just sitting with whatever arises. And then you can continue with this person or pick someone else or yourself that you'd like to send care to. sensing the natural compassion that arises for this person or for yourself. Bringing to mind any difficulty this person may be having or you may be having. Just letting the natural sense of care and concern arise. Bringing to mind any phrases you might find helpful. May you find healing. Or any phrase that comes to mind that you find beneficial. If you'd like to continue with this practice or bring in other people, please feel free to pause the video. Otherwise, you can open your eyes gently and return to the space around you. Maybe stretch out a little bit. So this practice is a way to ground yourself in a sense of concern and connection to others. And the idea, hopefully, is that you can then carry this spirit into your day. And the practice is based on the idea that we can cultivate beneficial qualities like compassion. If you want to continue this practice on your own, you can continue to expand to the world around you, to neighbors, to strangers, even to difficult people. Although I would practice with the easiest people for a while first. So I'd like to thank you for joining me for this session. I hope to see you again soon.